Alright guys, we got a video here from Geimik. Apparently this is the top 25 best-selling games on PlayStation 1. Nothing else. This is going to be a wonderful trip down memory lane. Let's see what he's come up with. Looks like we're going to start with Resident Evil 3. I could believe that this is one of the best-selling games, sure. And actually, I'm going to pause this for a second because this is actually one of the biggest releases I remember playing lastly before I kind of went on to PC gaming and Dreamcast for a bit. But yeah, this was a pretty big deal. Certainly, I felt like it was a little bit of a downgrade from number 2 because you could play with 2 different characters at, and this one you were back to just Jill Valentine. But what made up for this was A, the Nemesis, it was always on your back, it was absolutely terrifying, and B, that Mercenaries mode at the end. This game was fantastic. What a great trip down memory lane. A lot of people can see all of that. You just never knew when he was going to pop up. And you kind of had a bit more of a free roam in this one compared to the remake, which was a little bit more linear. So, very hard though with the puzzles and everything. Oh, we got Tony Hawk, bro. Like I've said in a previous video, we've got so many different Tony Hawk memories. And so the first one made it to the best-selling pile. Yeah, okay. I mean, I would have thought maybe some of the later ones sold better, and maybe they have. We'll see what they come up with afterwards. But I mean, this game was really special. Couch co-op with your friends. The video cutscenes on the PlayStation version with I think Chad Musker and all the other professional skaters at the time. It was just a wonderful package. I mean, they remade this game like half a decade ago, and the gameplay's still relevant even today. Yeah, it's a wonderful memory. It's a shame they don't have the exact amount of sales and everything and units and stuff in this, but I'm not going to complain. We're just going to go trip down memory lane here. Now we got Abe's Odyssey, right. Well, I know this certainly made the Platinum series, otherwise this wouldn't be on the list. And certainly was very special, kind of like a mixture of sort of like Prince of Persia and puzzle gameplay. Yeah, you definitely need your wits on this one. I remember this being all over the TV commercials, spawned a bunch of sequels. I think I still got this in my Steam library. Good luck trying to play this with a keyboard. I'm sure a lot of people did. Now, what do we got now? Like Crash Team Racing. I think I played more of that, I think it was Nitro Kart on the PS2. But this was certainly a fun game to give Mario Kart a run for its money. I don't think Crash Racing certainly gets enough credit. I personally would have preferred to play this over Mario Kart 64 at least today. Now we got Rayman. Okay. This is probably the most popular title on PlayStation that I've never played. I'm ashamed to admit it because I do have a copy of this on my Steam library. There's still streamers today even playing this as part of their retro catalog. I personally didn't really see what the fuss is all about. I guess I was playing more Mario Sonic things. Maybe you guys will have to tell me what makes Rayman so special. I will say this, it looks very nice and cartoony. It's got a great aesthetic, but I don't know. Maybe I was just overburdened with platformers at the time, especially since I was playing Crash Bandicoot on this system. I'm sure that's going to be on the list too. But a nice looking game, just wasn't, I mean, I have tried it, but not sat down with it for more than 10 minutes, you know. What do we got now? So this is Dragon Quest 7. Isn't this getting a re-release on the Nintendo Switch 2? I think it is. This is interesting. Oh, it does have the amount of sales on there. Excuse me. I didn't notice that before. One take, baby. Mistakes. Yeah. I haven't dived into this series much, but I really enjoyed number 11. And I certainly want to give some more a shot. I love this old school turn-based gameplay. Played so many games like this on the Sega Genesis. But number 7, yeah, right. Yeah, played so many dungeon crawlers like this in the 16-bit era. Even beforehand, games like Wizardry and things like that. Now what, we got a Tomb Raider game here. Let's see what entry this is on the list. Okay, so nearly 5 billion sales. Last Revelation. I may have had a naughty copy of this, if you get my drift. When I was a kid, I played this a little bit. Didn't really make much progress in the game. Most of my time was spent playing Tomb Raider 1. I was a bit vanilla ice cream when it came to the franchise. But if you've got the patience for it, this is a wonderful series. I'm sure a lot of people are playing the remakes even today. And now we got Spyro. You know, there was two big franchises. You had Spyro and you had Crash. And, you know, they're both being sold in bundles together today. You know, the remasters and everything. I was kind of more into the Crash side of things. Spyro just sort of felt like more of a girl's cutesy kitty game to me. Maybe I'm unfairly judging it because I got a lot of fellas tell me they played this and they found it absolutely awesome. This is probably the most popular game on PlayStation that I didn't dive a lot of time into. That's basically the point. And lots of releases came out after this. I'm not sure how popular they were compared to the original. This was all over the commercials in Australia growing up in the 90s, so certainly was a very special title. Oh, Resident Evil 1. I mean, there's probably not too many surprises here that this cracked the top 20. This is actually number 17 with 5 million copies. Aha. Well, I mean, this is one of my favorite survival horrors to play, not just on the PlayStation, but period. I play this at least once a month. And, you know, if I want a casual playthrough, I'll do the mansion with Jill. If I want something more hardcore, I'll play with Chris. Wonderful experience. Now what we got? Is this Chrono Cross? No, Final Fantasy IX, excuse me. It should have been a hint when it was going to the battle screen there. Yeah, okay. So, I beat Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII on PlayStation 1. But when it came to, like, Final Fantasy IX, I remember back in, like, the year 2000, I got up to the third disc, and then I gave up on it, and I just never went back to it since. That's on me. I really liked the story. The story was surprisingly dark. What I will say is the cutesy Disney graphics in this kind of threw me off a bit. I kind of liked how, like, Final Fantasy VIII felt a little bit more adult and contemporary. This one just felt like a little bit too cutesy for me. That's probably unfair because the game itself is more important with what it looks like. But I can only be honest, and you know, a lot of people do consider this to be the best one on PlayStation 1. I know a lot of fans of number 7 are going to argue that. Let me know what you think in the chat. Either way, it is a special game, even if it's not my favorite core. Man, I love that Shiva sub. It's always amazing. Looks like these screens are in Russian or something. In Soviet Russia, summons you. They're spending a fair bit of time on this one. Alright, so what do we got? So we got a Tekken game here. Is this the second one? It's certainly not number 3. I was going to say number 3 probably got even more sales than this. Dude, I remember before I finally owned this game, I just used to play the demo disc over and over. I think you only got Lay and Michelle, I think it was. Forgive me if I'm getting that wrong, but just doing a couple matches over and over and over was so much fun. And, yeah, I mean, it enticed me to get the game, which I did, so I guess the demo disc did its job. But for a game of its stage, it's got really good flow. Obviously, the new Tekken games have got way better combos now. This looks like it's Resi 2, I think. So Resi 2 out of all the Resi games got the most sales. I mean, it was a popular franchise, hey? Nearly 6 million copies. Yeah, that was a lot back in the 90s for sure. Wonderful experience, surviving the police station, the sewers, the facility. You can play as Leon and Claire. They have little sub-stories as well with Sherry Bobbins and introducing Ada, which was pretty Sherry Bobbins. Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to all the Resident Evil games, objectively, this is a pretty good argument for being the best one. Might not be my personal nostalgic favorite, but honestly, all 3 Resident Evil games on PlayStation 1 were really special, right? It's hard to pick between all 3 of them fairly. They all have their pluses and minuses, I guess. But yeah, number 2 was definitely really special. There's no denying that. Alright, what do we got next? So we got another Tomb Raider game. Oh, which entry is this one? Oh, look, she got a little 4x4. So number 3, I was going to say, I don't remember ever using the 4x4 in the original. And this actually sold 6 million units almost. Well, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, never really spent any time in the third one, to tell you the honest truth, guys. But I mean, hey, it's Tomb Raider. You'll have to let me know which one your favorite is in the chat. Makes me wonder how many Tomb Raider games are going to be on this list as well. But okay, what do we got next? Another Tomb Raider game? It's like back to back. Yeah, I did play a little number 2. I remember there was that little thing that people used to do, that little silly bit where they get that guy caught in the kitchen or whatever, or the fridge or whatever it was. It's going back a bit now. People used to just do the dumbest shit. But yeah, this is a pretty good adventure game. I didn't get massively far in this compared to the first one. But I dabbled in this a little bit. Just more of a good thing, really. I loved all these spike traps, man. Like, this isn't the most gory game, but anticipating your potential demise just really added to the adrenaline of Tomb Raider. And now we got Crash Bandicoot 1. Oh, man, like, I know Crash Bandicoot 2 and 3 added some more bells and whistles, like other level styles, vehicles, and things like that. Like, you had the bike in 3, I think you had the plane in number 2. But there was just something about the platforming in Crash Bandicoot 1, the less is more approach this game took. Yeah, and even then it's still a hybrid. You know, you got these vertical levels, side-scrolling levels, and these survival levels where you're on, like, different beasts and things like that. And, you know, keep in mind this happened first in 1996, and the notorious difficulty, I mean, dude, it took me months to beat this hard. And I don't know how someone of my lack of skill managed to beat this game, but heaven forbid, when I was a kid, I was better at these games. But such a wonderful memory for me, and I always find when I'm playing, like, the Insane trilogy, I'm either always going back to this or number 2. And even though number 3 is special, I mean, this one came beforehand, right? And Metal Gear Solid, I'm surprised that this is not one of the best sellers, like, ever. But I guess tactical espionage is maybe niche. I don't know. I mean, 7 billion units tells me that this is not niche.
On the second floor.
I mean, I love this game. Started as a rental, finally got a copy. I even got the special mission CD as well. What a wonderful cinematic. The cinematics were pretty much a new thing, especially on console. You had a completely voice-acted experience here. It still holds up, if I do say so myself. I mean, this game has been re-released as part of Metal Gear Collection. I would love to see a graphic overhaul of this. You didn't even have to change much else. Maybe quality of life improvements of the controls, but yeah, what an adventure, hey? Such a thrill. And now, so we got the first Tomb Raider, so that ended up selling the most copies. Right, with 7, I guess when you've got an early release on the PlayStation 1, which is so popular, to be fair, you just have more time to sell more copies, I guess. That's not necessarily saying that this is the best Tomb Raider. It's certainly my nostalgic favourite. But, you know, in the life cycle of the PlayStation, this was selling for over half a decade, so I guess it gave more people an option to get a copy. But yep, this is where it all began for me. Special game. What do we got now? Is this Crash 2 or 3? Looks like number 3. Yeah, so number 3, Warp. So it's just called Warp. This is just a super solid game. You know, obviously it's a case of been there and done that, which is not a problem, is because if you're going to go back to it, as long as you're doing it just as well as before, hey, I think people are going to buy into it, and the amount of copies that this sold proves that. Look at that, see, big hybrid of different gameplay elements here, always enough to keep things interesting. And so this would be number 2, I'm guessing. I always really liked the structure of number 2, where you'd have, like, one room, do 5 levels and a boss, and then go up, do another 5 levels and a boss. It was just something I really liked about the progression of Crash Bandicoot 2. When it comes to streaming Crash Bandicoot games, I found like out of the PlayStation releases, this one was probably the most accessible for beginners. And so, you know, being that I'm more of a casual gamer, this is the one I stream the most if I ever do put a Crash Bandicoot game on. Probably haven't played this for about 6 months, but it's a very, I remember this boss, Ripperoo. He was a total cunny. He was terrible. Oh, we got Harry Potter. Never played any of the Harry Potter movies, and to be honest, I never watched any of the damn movies either, not at least till completion anyway. I know that's blasphemy to all the Harry Potter fans out there, but, yeah, I mean, I didn't even realize that the PlayStation 1 games for this were that good. Certainly looks like a serviceable platforming game. maybe people just bought into this for the license more than the quality. Certainly doesn't look bad. I'm not getting any wow factor out of this though. And what do we got? This is Tekken 3. Jeez, I thought this could have been in the... Well, it is in the top 5. With 8.3 million units sold. I mean, this is a great package. It's so much value for the buck. You had that Tekken Force mode, I think, which was like a glorified beat-em-up where if you mastered a character, you could do like beat-em-up elements. You could have so many cutscenes unlocked when you'd finish the game with a character, and then you'd unlock new characters as well. There was a lot of unlockables. Time attack, arcade mode. And not to mention the fact that a lot of characters in this game, like, I think Law and, I'm forgetting the names of the characters now, but there was a lot more combos that could be changed together, so this game had a lot more flow than previous entries. Yeah, man, look, it was really special, right? Really, really, really special. I find Tekken 3 still fun to play today, to be honest. Maybe not as fun as some of the newer ones, my favorite being Tekken Tag 2. But come on, man, this came out like 25 years ago. It's still incredibly special. And, alright, Final Fantasy VIII. Yeah, you know what? I'm not surprised that this game sold so many copies. After the success of Final Fantasy VII, obviously Final Fantasy VII put the franchise on the map, I guess, when it came to Western releases. Some people could argue the 16-bit number 6 did. I think it was number 7. And so obviously people wanted more of a good thing. This entry is obviously very polarizing because, you know, newbies are going to be like, oh, we're going to get more Cloud, we're going to get more Tifa. They probably weren't expecting a sequel to be a completely new story. But I thought this was very grown-up, very dark, and fantastic. Only step down for me was the junction system. The materia system was fantastic, but all good things have to come to an end, I guess. Overall, this is a wonderful story, wonderful experience. A lot longer than Final Fantasy VII, and you've also got the bonus card game too. And, yeah, well, what we got here? This is where you get Imprint for the first time, isn't it? Yeah. The Fire Lord, or whatever his name is. Yeah, you're going to play out the summons. I like how they're playing this video out for just a little bit longer. That's a nice touch. I dig it. I think this is to graduate their course or whatever. I always used to change the character names to, like, my crushes and stuff, because I was, like, a total simp when I was a teenager. So if there was, like, a girl I liked at school or something, I would just put my crushes in there. And don't lie to me, I know some of you bitches did that too. You get a pass for that when you're a kid. Wow, they're really playing this bitch out for a long time, aren't they? And what do we got next? On one of the Gran Turismo games. Number 2? Or is it the first one? Let's have a look. Yeah, number 2. The fact that Gran Turismo 2 sold nearly 10 million copies is impressive. Because this came out in 1999, and obviously in Japan and at the end of 2000 also in the US, I think the PlayStation 2 came out, right? So the fact that this sold so many copies in such a small amount of time is really, really impressive. Yeah, Gran Turismo 1 walked, so Gran Turismo 2 and future editions could run. And look, obviously graphically this doesn't look as good as what it once did, but the amount of options, classes, and different things you could do with this racing game, it really was the ultimate driving simulator at the time, something very special. I don't know if it was compatible with a racing wheel. I did get my first racing wheel, I think in the year 2000, and used it with the NASCAR games. Let me know if this game was compatible with the racing wheel on PlayStation 1. I never tried it with that. Now we got Final Fantasy VII. You know, this is no surprise, and I wonder where people found out about this game for it to be hyped, because I actually found out and played this game by accident. And so I did see this game on the rental stores for about a year and a half before I played it. I didn't think anything of it. And then in the end of 1998, I was working in a market, and I saw this game for a pretty good price on the shelf in one of the pawn shops there. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to take a chance and get it. And so what I did was I traded in some old trading cards and some phone cards and everything to get a copy of this game. And wow, how I got lost in this for such a large period of time. I've played through this game on different platforms so many different times. Mobile, Switch, PlayStation. Yeah, wow. It started off by love for the franchise, this game. And, yeah, sold over 10 million units. But yeah, the point is, I found out about it by accident. I saw it on the shelf, the video store. I didn't find out about it in magazines or anything. To be fair, I didn't buy my first edition of PlayStation magazine until 98 or 99, but I'm so glad I got this game by accident. And you thought Metal Gear was a cinematic masterpiece. And outside of the fact that this is not voice acted, this is where it's at, man. Yeah, I just love how I can play these tunes now in the theater rhythm collection too. I just love listening to the soundtrack still. So Gran Turismo 1 sold more copies. Wow, so this is actually the best-selling game on PlayStation 1. Okay. I did not see this coming. I mean, I knew that Gran Turismo would do pretty well. I didn't realize it was #1. So according to this, if this list is accurate, this is the best-selling game on PlayStation 1. Well, there you go. Nearly 11 million copies. Came out in 97. And yeah, I mean, between both games, they nearly sold 20 million copies. It's crazy. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video from Geimik. Please make sure you're giving them a follow and a sub or a like and all that nonsense. Gives that to us too. Not really selling it too well, am I? I'm not good at this damn fangled social media thing. I'm old. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video, everybody.